people only have to worry about dance. I know that I told them that they had 4 months to learn Spanish. They don't even have to learn Spanish. They just it's better if they learn to dance.
Okay, Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny previewing his Super Bowl halftime show in English, but he's expected to become the very first artist to perform entirely in Spanish. And a new CNN Flash Talk Hour reveals why his show on Sunday is already generating celebration and backlash.
Bad Bunny has shed light on many of these issues. I think one of the most recent ways he's done that is through his No Me Quiero Ir de Aquí residency that happened this summer in Puerto Rico. This was a 31-day residency, and the first 9 shows were only for Puerto Rican residents.
Bad Bunny has said publicly, I did not perform in the United States for fear that my fans would be attacked by ICE. And so having that kind of concert, which felt like it was dedicated to Latinos, felt like a moment, like there was community around you.
I would say the most offensive things about Bad Bunny is the fact that he blatantly hates Trump. He's against ICE. They hate our government. People think that conservatives are outraged over the fact that he's from Puerto Rico, but that is fake news. We don't care that he's from Puerto Rico. We care that he is standing for open borders.
Joining me now to discuss, Petra Rivera Rideau, who you just saw. She's a professor at Wellesley College. Thank you so much for being here. You know, it's interesting. We do sometimes put a lot of pressure on high-profile acts these days to be political in some way. I know my friends did the same with Kendrick Lamar. But how does Bad Bunny actually use politics in his music?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think the thing about Bad Bunny is that he has always used politics in his music, and he's always used his platform to talk about things that he really cares about, particularly as they pertain to his homeland of Puerto Rico. And so sometimes this is direct statements, like what we saw at the Grammys when he said "Ice Out." And oftentimes it's through his music. So sometimes lyrical references, the types of symbols. For example, often you'll see in his music videos the Puerto Rican flag with the light blue triangle. The light blue triangle is affiliated with independence for Puerto Rico. So he uses a lot of aspects of his performance to make political statements, and that's what I think we're going to see at the Super Bowl.
I want to ask you about the alternative that's been offered by Turning Points USA, Trump ally Kid Rock headlining that show. And here's what he had to say. He's talking about Bad Bunny, and he said he's having a dance party wearing a dress and singing in Spanish. Cool. We plan to play great songs for folks who love America. Can you talk about this framing of not loving America?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Bad Bunny, first, it's important to note, is a U.S. citizen, and U.S. citizens have the right to free speech. So he has the right to criticize the Trump administration. I also think that, you know, to me, this controversy actually does boil down to the fact that we have a Spanish-speaking artist on one of the biggest stages in the country, a stage that is imagined to be very patriotic and very symbolic of U.S. nationalism. And I really feel like in this particular political moment, when we have so much rampant xenophobia, we have racial profiling of Spanish speakers, I feel like in this context, to have a Spanish-speaking artist on that platform is, of course, very controversial for many people. At the same time, I think that Bad Bunny completely represents America. So I'll point to the trailer he did for his halftime show, which is a very simple clip of him dancing with people from all walks of life, different racial groups, ethnic groups, occupations, ages, dance styles, even with the tagline, "The world will dance." This is a trailer that's about inclusivity, that's about accepting everybody for who they are and celebrating joy and fun. And I actually don't know what could be more American than that.
Okay, that's Petra Rivera-Rideau. Thank you so much for your time. She's a co-author, actually, of a new book as well, How Bad Bunny Became the Global Voice of Puerto Rican Resistance. You can watch that doc, Bad Bunny and the Halftime Show, Rhythms of Resistance, this Saturday at 10 right here at CNN and on the CNN app. All right. So with that, we're going to talk about what's in your group chat, because there's a lot of big events this weekend. People are having parties. Someone might be having a book party that I know about for his new book.
Oh, look at you.
What's in your group chat, Elliot?
There's a lot of snow on the ground right now, and there's this great Wall Street Journal piece about Pittsburgh. As Rob Louie will know, you don't mess with Pittsburghers and their dugout parking spots. There's a culture in Pittsburgh,
Absolutely.
right? That even if it's technically unlawful to do so, or to to block the space, that it's just not what you do in Pittsburgh. And you don't want to be called a jagoff or anything like that. These are people who gave us the pastrami sandwich with French fries in it. They're not ones to be messed with.
So is this like the city saying you're not allowed to have
no.
it?
The mayor of Pittsburgh has said, y'all, everything's fine if you dig out your parking spot and someone goes in it.
It is not fine.
It's the law of the streets.
It's not fine. As a former Bostonian, it's not fine, and I fear for your tires.
Yes.
Alex Thompson.
Well, Matthew Stafford, the LA Rams quarterback, who should be